God raised up Philip Melanchthon to come alongside of him, and he's a very important figure because, again, he's the one that systematizes Lutheran thought. So let's talk about Philip Melanchthon. So this is Philip Melanchthon's house over here to the left. Just like Luther even like nailing the theses to the door, Luther in doing that, he was just trying to stir argument. He was a great debater, but he wasn't very systematic in his theology. You read Galatians, his theology or his commentary on Galatians, and it even varies all over the place. He's a very good debater. He could say things in a way that would really inspire people to think about them. So he had some real gifts, but one of his gifts was not systematic theology. But God raised up Philip Melanchthon to come alongside of him. And so, like Beza, when you think of Beza and Calvin, Beza just kind of continued the work of Calvin. Melanchthon does more than that. He systematizes what Luther was teaching. He was also a professor at Wittenberg College. He ends up definitely holding to the position of communing with Christ without it being actually Christ's body and blood in the Lord's Supper. And so Melanchthon ends up being the debater, debating like in an intellectual way, as opposed to Luther debates more in a popular way and is able to convince people. Melanchthon's probably the most famous thing that he does is the Augsburg Confession. He wrote the Augsburg Confession, and that's still the most common confession of Lutheran churches today. And so the Augsburg Confession, what happens is it's 1530, and there's a diet in Augsburg in 1530. And this is the Holy Roman Emperor is trying to stop the people from continuing to follow after Luther and Lutheranism. Luther's not able to go, but the princes that go, they want a statement of what do Lutherans believe. And so Melanchthon's tasked with writing it. He writes it with other people. He doesn't write it alone, but he ends up writing what gets to be the signed confession. A lot of people sign the confession, the princes do, to take it to the Holy Roman Emperor. And so the confession of most Lutheran churches is the Augsburg Confession, like I said, in 1532. There were some things in it that people recognized weren't doctrinally sound. So in 1540, there's what's called the Verrata, which is the variation from it. They kind of go through the confession and fix some things because it was written very quickly for the Augsburg Diet. And so as he writes this, he communes for the 1540 version. He ends up communicating with Calvin. Calvin signs the Variata. He's saying that this is a statement of what Calvin believes too. And so some Lutheran churches now follow the one that's the modified version. Some do the unmodified. Probably more do the unmodified. Melanchthon ends up being a teacher here for some time as well. And he's a very important figure because, again, he's the one that systematizes Lutheran thought. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also visit www.discerninghistory.com for more videos and other resources.